Welcome back to 11 of the last 20. Next on our countdown is a wideout who used his route running skills to perfection, racking up plenty of receiving yards on his way into the record books. Check him out.
Number 7, Warwick's Carter Forney, Warriors' all-time leader in receptions and receiving yards.
Forney, I remember him, he was long and lean, and another guy that was dangerous. He was a scary wide receiver.
And the pass downfield caught! Carter Forney!
Didn't look like he was very fast, but somehow he would get open and catch the ball and make a big play.
Look at that. That's just beautiful.
Defensive coordinators certainly had to game plan for him. He really made Warwick's passing game, a threat and something that other teams had to be concerned about.
Blue-collar mentality, but with a lot of physical skills. He was a quiet kid, but anything that touched his hands, you knew he was going to catch it.
I think the most impressive thing about Carter, what I always liked with him and the quarterback, when things broke down and the quarterback's rolling out of the pocket, he had enough sense to always work with the quarterback, and I think that's where he gained a lot of his receptions.
Touchdown Warwick. That Carter Forney on the receiving end.
We spent a lot of time, when we get to practice together, understanding that if we scramble, if you're high, you come low, if you're low, you go high. That's easy to say sometimes. Not everybody listens to it and applies it to what they do. And he knew how to find an opening. He would set a pattern down if it wasn't exactly at the moment it was supposed to be thrown. He would find a hole and then set himself up for a catch.
Physical player, great hands, and a great battler. When that ball was up and it was a jump ball, had good position, was going to fight for everything. And this is a guy that only had one speed, and that was 100%.
I thought Carter kind of started the new age wave of these Warwick receivers that are coming through right now, the Adams and the Schmitz and the Glasses and all these guys that are coming through now. I thought Forney was kind of the first guy to kind of get that wide receiver group started here with Warwick. He was a talented kid.
Number 6, Mannheim Central's Colby Wagner.
Colby was a speed kid. It was all about speed with him. If you asked Colby to plant right and make a move on a guy, he said, well, why? I could just beat that kid deep.
Colby Wagner had a nice junior season, but his senior season, man, he just lit it up. With Evan Simon throwing him passes, he just he had breakaway speed.
For Colby Wagner, he's got it! What a 2-year span. You look at how he exploded on the scene as a junior, averaged almost 31 yards per catch, and then comes back his senior season and just lights it up even more so. Sets an LL record with most receptions in a game. And you look at his 2-year career, he averaged almost 23 yards a catch. So every catch he made, Colby was able to turn it into a big play.
This year, Colby just had a really, really nice season, and they utilized him both as an outside receiver, as a slot receiver. They also put him in the backfield at times too.
And running it in is Colby Wagner.
And he could do it all there as well.
Jack of all trades kid for Central the last couple of years. He had an amazing career there. Broke Graham Zugg's record last fall for most receiving yards in a season. If you're breaking any of Zugg's records, that's really impressive. He could beat you so many ways. Catching the ball, scoring touchdowns, on defense.
Colby Wagner steps in front of the pass and picks it off.
He had great hands. He made a tremendous amount of acrobatic catches, but he was speed all the way.
Number 5, Conestoga Valley's Ty Bynum, Buckskin's all-time leader in receiving yards.
I think what stands out about Ty was his explosiveness off the line of scrimmage. Those first 2 steps, if the defender wasn't on him, you figure already now he's in full gear, going full steam, and when he catches that pass, he's already a couple of steps ahead of you.
He was one of my favorite wide receivers. Ty Bynum was a guy that made every catch. No matter where the ball was, if you put it anywhere close to his wingspan, anywhere near his arms, he was going to make the catch.
He was a brute, physical kid, could go up and get it in traffic.
He was a big play type of kid. His senior year, he had taken one back against us on the opening kickoff.
In 2006 against Central, the biggest play I remember, opening kickoff, this is, Mannheim magic in reverse. Most times this is what happens to you.
80, 90 yards for a touchdown, boom. See if he gets a quick lead on Central.
I remember Eric calling that game, and he thought that Brad Hur caught the ball.
Brad Hur across the 30. Hur, this is Bynum.
And Ty Bynum actually called him off and ran in front of him, took the ball away from him.
And he is going to take the opening kick off the distance for a touchdown.
Oh, my goodness. I thought the other guy was getting the ball. Mike told me before the game they weren't going to kick the ball to him. They were going to kick it to the other guy. Well, guess what?
That was a great opening play, and that's the kind of player he was. He would just make big plays like that sparked our team.
Number 4, Warwick's Trey Glass, Warriors' single-season record holder in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns.
I think the thing about Trey is his speed. He was pretty dynamic with the ball in his hands.
As much or more than anybody else I ever saw, whenever that boy had the ball in his hands, there was a real good chance he was going to go to the house with it.
Trey Glass off to the races again. Touchdown Warriors.
Amazingly quick. Worked really hard at his patterns, was blessed with tremendous speed, but worked really hard to become a fantastic route runner.
Smooth, elusive, quick, fast. I mean, you name it. It's like Trey had an extra gear. So the key was whether it was on a pass play, you design a running play, you get him on special teams. When he had the ball in his hands, he had the capability of making it a big play and a possible touchdown every time he touched the ball.
The real shame is that we only got him really for his junior season.
Then he gets hurt in the district game, works his tail off, gets all the way back for his senior year. First week he comes out and hurts his knee again. So big things projected for his senior year. He was going to be fantastic.
Fast is the thing that I remember the most about him. He could just get down the field in a hurry. Not a big kid, but always made plays catching the ball.
His junior season was off the charts fantastic for Warwick. Scored every which way possible, major deep threat. By the second half of his junior year, McCracken was playing, and those two were just unbelievable, hooking up deep, scoring touchdowns.
I think his junior year, the first play of the game, he took one back on us on a kickoff return. And going by us, I mean, it was just a flash.
Trey Glass, touchdown, 95 yards.
There's some receivers that when they go deep, you're just like, oh boy, this is no good. And then there's other receivers that get the ball out in the perimeter, get the ball in the flat, and then you're holding your breath because you don't know what they're going to do because they can make moves out in open space. And that's what Trey did for them.
We've cracked the top 5 in our countdown, but coming up next, we unveil who made the top 3 and who's walking away as our #1 wide receiver of the last 20 years.